Coming up on Indians Tonight, no game today, but we'll talk plenty of baseball, where the Indians are at after 32 games.
We're likely to have some inconsistencies along the way.
Bob Nightingale of the USA Today stops by to give his take on the club.
I mean, that's why we're talking about Cleveland. They have as much chance to get to a World Series as anybody.
The Cavaliers season is finally wrapping up. Only 4 games left to play after tonight. Where do they go from here? And when will we be able to see Browns rookies out on the practice field in Berea? Hey, can't we all get along? Indians Tonight starts now. Well, here we go. Great to be with you here on Indians Tonight. Unfortunately, though, here on Mother's Day, Mother Nature did not cooperate. The Indians and Reds series finale postponed due to rain and snow today. It rained all day, literally, so no baseball. They'll continue the battle for the Ohio Cup with one final game on August 9th. Later this season. Thanks so much for joining us and being a part of it with us this evening. It is still going to be a busy next half hour for you. No game today, but plenty of baseball to dive into. And let's start with some history. How about this? For the second time this season, the Indians were no-hit on Friday night in a 3-0 loss to the Cincinnati Reds. Wade Miley going the distance. No hits off the veteran left-hander. In fact, the only reason he wasn't perfect was because of an error. Crazy thing about this is 23 days earlier, White Sox starter Carlos Rodon also had a no-hitter against Cleveland. And because of that, the Indians made some history, not in a good way. The Tribe became just the 3rd team in baseball history to be no-hit twice in the first 31 games of the season. The other two, the 1884 Pittsburgh Alleghenies, remember them? And the 1917 Chicago White Sox. No team has ever been no-hit 3 times in a season. Good news, though. That White Sox club in 1917, they went on to win the World Series that year. All right, the Tribe did put Friday's no-hitter behind them. They picked up an impressive win on Saturday. They banged out 11 hits. They beat the Reds 9-2. So here we are, 32 games into the year now. The Indians are 4 games over 500 at 18-14. Chris Antonetti met with the media this morning. Chris, what do you make of this team so far?
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things at play. You know, we've talked about it kind of from the outset of spring training with a younger team that we're likely to have some inconsistencies along the way, and there will be some nights like we had on Friday night, and other nights like we had yesterday. Hopefully we have more days like yesterday than Friday. I'm hoping we won't be the first team to have 3 no-hitters thrown against us, though.
Us too. All right, here's a look at the AL Central standings up until right now. Not quite at the 40-game mark yet. The White Sox in first place, but the Indians only a game back in second place. How about the ice-cold Kansas City Royals? They've come crashing back to earth. 8 straight losses for KC from first place to third place in less than a week. Well, it is always fun when we can catch up with Bob Nightingale, USA Today, longtime national baseball writer. Feels like it's been forever, Bob, since we've had a chance to talk. And here we go on a day where the Indians were rained out. It's a good rainy day to talk some baseball here in Cleveland with you. We always appreciate the time. And Bob, as you look at the Indians early on in this season, 18-14, they're near the top of the division. I know they haven't played 40 games yet, but are you a little bit surprised about how they've been able to start? I mean, right now it's them and the White Sox at the top of the division.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a semi-rebuilding. You know, when you trade away Francisco Lindor, you're not expecting this. But yeah, I think Cleveland will stay up there all year. You know, I don't think the White Sox, particularly with their 2 outfielders getting, hurt out until September, sets them back. I don't think anybody thought the Minnesota Twins would have this kind of struggles. But yeah, I fully expect Cleveland to be, there all year.
I'm glad that we're hearing this from you, because I have said similar things, and I think sometimes it's like, oh, maybe he's the local Cleveland homer. You have the national pulse here. When I look at this Indians roster, Bob, you look at the starting pitching, you look at the bullpen with some back end arms there. You've got Terry Francona in that dugout. I mean, there's a stat out there when they score 4 or more runs, they're 15-1 this year, Bob. I mean, they've got lockdown pitching. I mean, I'm glad it's not just me. I mean, you see that this could be a legit club that hangs around all season, right?
Yeah, and then at the trade deadline, if you need some offensive help, you can go get it. Hey, when you look at Cleveland, you look at the entire American League, I'm not sure if there's a pitching staff that would be more feared come postseason time. I mean, they go 1, 2, 3 right at you and knock off some great teams. I think Cleveland just has to get there. If they get there, who knows what can happen? It'd be amazing, though, to go deep into in the playoffs without Lindor. That'd be strange.
that would be different. Absolutely. A name that continues to come up is Albert Pujols. The other day, I know ESPN analyst Eduardo Perez said Cleveland might be a good fit for him. One of the clubs I had thought might be the White Sox, but I know Tony La Russa came out the other day and said probably not going to fit here. You've written about Pujols plenty. Just what's your take on where he might end up, if he'll end up anywhere?
I think he sits around and waits probably for an injury, and people threw out the White Sox, which is ridiculous. I mean, Mercedes is hitting about 400. They got the MVP at first base. So that made no sense. So some of these things are crazy. So I think it's, sit back and wait. If somebody, needs a guy, remember, because he'll be a free agent and he wants to be an everyday player. If he's just going to sit on the bench, he would have just stayed in Anaheim. So someone's going to give him an everyday job. And I don't see a team out there right now.
Two things, Bob, that I want to talk to you about kind of big picture with Major League Baseball. The first one is something where I'm going to praise baseball. The second one is where I have some questions about some things. Number one, you look at the standings throughout Major League Baseball. And again, I know it's only a 32, 35 game sample size. Bob, I think baseball needs to be commended, though, for some of the parity that it has right now. I mean, you look at the standings, there's a lot of teams that seem even. That's got to be great for the game.
Oh, it is. I mean, the start the season off, you figured it was the Dodgers by themselves, and then everybody else lumped together. But a ton of parity. I mean, nobody's playing 600 ball as of a day or two ago. So yeah, I mean that's why we're talking about Cleveland. They have as much chance to get to the World Series as anybody.
And the one concern that I have with Major League Baseball, Bob, and this is only because I hear from friends of mine and family. I said, well, I'm going to get a chance to talk to Bob Nightingale. So here we go. But a lot of swing and miss. I mean, we're seeing a lot of strikeouts. It almost feels like sometimes it's either strikeout or home run. Is there any part of you that kind of fears long-term what could happen? I know people thought Manfred was crazy when he said, all right, let's get rid of the shifts. But there's times, Bob, I'm looking at the game and I'm saying, I need more action.
Yeah, I mean, they changed the rules in the other sports, to create more action, whether it's NBA or NFL. Why not baseball? They got to do something because I think, last year doesn't count, but I think this attendance has dropped the last 3 or 4 years in a row. People are losing interest. I see Major League ball players, former ball players, come out and they say, I can't watch this stuff anymore. It's just too boring. Yeah, but you're right. Strikeout, walk, home run. I think the month of April, there was about 1,000 more strikeouts than hits. That's ridiculous.
Bob, listen, always appreciate the time. Love reading you. Love getting a chance to catch up with you. And we'll talk to you down the road.
Sounds great. Take care, Nick.
Our play of the day is brought to you by Union Home Mortgage. And look at Tribe shortstop Andres Jimenez. What a catch here. That slowed the Reds down from trying to tie up yesterday's game. And as we told you, Indians went on to win that game 9-2. Some places call that a web gem. That was an athletic play. It's our play of the day. So an off day for the Indians tomorrow. Then the Chicago Cubs come to town for a quick 2-game series. After that, the Indians will go to the West Coast for 7 games. Shane Bieber gets the ball on Tuesday. First pitch is set for 6:10. It'll be fun to see Bieber on the hill on Tuesday. He'll look to keep his Major League record streak alive. You realize the last time that Bieber did not strike out at least 8 batters in a game was his last start of the 2019 season. That's 20 starts in a row. Here's the Indians' ace on what he's been able to do so far.
We're playing our brand of baseball right now, and we feel confident, whether it's beginning of the game or late in the game. And, we feel like we always got a chance to win, so we're going to go out and do that.
Our player of the day brought to you by Mr. Hero. And how great was this to see? Minor League Baseball return this week in Akron. How about this? First time in 610 days. And in their season opener Wednesday, Oscar Gonzalez smashing a 3-run walk-off homer to beat the always tough Binghamton Rumble Ponies. I do like that name. Even Tito, glad to see Minor League Baseball back.
You know, I got that app on my phone, our minor league box scores, and I was checking it out yesterday, and it was kind of fun going through the list. And I mean, I'll probably show them my age, but I love going through box scores anyway. But it's fun to see your young guys, yeah.
All right, coming up, Cavs trying to end a long losing streak, and one of the all-time fan favorites makes his way back into a wine and gold uniform. We'll hear from Anderson Varejao about his return to Cleveland next.
And this franchise, without LeBron James, has been an abject failure in the Dan Gilbert ownership regime. And if not for having the absolute perfect storm of having the number 1 pick when a kid from Akron was eligible to come into the NBA, and if not for LeBron having a bit of a conscience, even if it was for a moment, and deciding he wants to come home to deliver a championship to Cleveland, then what do we have?
Wow, our own Jay Crawford speaking the truth there. He was a guest on the Locked On Cavs podcast this week with Evan Damerol and Chris Manning. Make sure you check that out every day for the latest on the wine and gold. Watch the show at LockedOnPodcast.com or at WKYC.com. Well, after tonight, only 4 more games for the Cavaliers. The wine and gold back in action tonight, taking on the Dallas Mavericks. And we saw these guys on Friday night. Same story tonight, though. Our game of the day brought to you by Brunswick Auto Mart. Car buying made truly simple. And once again, the Mavs had the Cavs number. Luka Doncic with the steal, lays it in easily in the second quarter. Now, Luka got tossed in the third quarter for pushing Colin Sexton here. It's on your lower left-hand side there, but Dallas still a winner. Didn't matter. 124-97. Cavs have now lost 10 in a row.
They just every night got to give us what they got, and you know we can live with that. And again, I don't think that's been an issue. We're fighting uphill, and that's just honest. So everybody's got to try to do more, but at the baseline, they got to give us everything they got, and then we'll work from there.
Okay, so only 4 games left this year for the Cavs. They are home tomorrow night to take on the Pacers. Then Wednesday, it's the home finale against the Celtics. And then they'll hit the road for the final pair, Wizards and the Nets, to round out the season. Our moment of the day is brought to you by Mike Bass Ford. Get a great deal and a great deal more at Mike Bass Ford. This was weird, fun, and crazy all in one. Anderson Varejao back in a Cavs uniform. He had not played in the NBA in 4 years. This was Wednesday's game against the Blazers here in Cleveland. And here's the wild thing after the game.
Special day for me. I'll never forget this day because of all that. And to be honest, when I checked into, it felt like, well, I never left, just with the fans like cheering and being happy to see me. And because I was very excited and happy to see them. So it's special. And I won't forget this day.
Our sports flashback brought to you by Northeast Factory Direct. Great furniture, great prices. Oh, these were some good times for the Cavaliers. May 5th, 2018, just over 3 years ago to the day. LeBron James hitting a buzzer beater off the glass. It put the Cavs up 3-0 over the Toronto Raptors in the Eastern Conference semifinals. Some great memories there. All right, coming up, can it be football season already? When can we expect the Browns' newest rookies out on the practice field? We'll have the dates that you need to know next. Believe it or not, 1 week ago, there was a draft stage sitting right here. Yeah, between the Rock Hall and First Energy Stadium. We headed over there to where the NFL draft was today. It looks like there's no evidence that the draft was even here. It's amazing how quickly they got all that stuff out of here. The only thing that was the same today was really the rain, right? I know it's only May 9th, but I think a lot of us are ready for football. And this week, we should get a little taste of that. Yeah, because there's some important dates for your Cleveland Browns that are going to be coming up here next weekend. Rookie minicamp set to kick off in Berea. OTAs are scheduled for May 25th through the 27th. Now, mandatory minicamp is set for June 15th to June 17th, but the NFL Players Association has made their voices clear. I doubt that they have any guys showing up for that because they've cited all the safety protocols with COVID-19. Next weekend, though, we will get our first look at Browns rookies rocking the orange and brown. Players that were drafted, like Greg Newsome II or Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and even undrafted free agents that the Browns signed. The Jets, Colts, and Raiders, they held their rookie mini camps this weekend. Hey, let's take a second here to wish Cleveland Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski a happy birthday. Why not? The Browns head man turned 39 years old yesterday. Hard to believe he's so young. What a first year on the job for him. Happy birthday to Coach. All right, coming up, the Kentucky Derby winner, Medina Spirit, is in some hot water, along with trainer Bob Baffert. We'll explain after a quick timeout. Well, what a mess this has become. Medina Spirit, the winner of the Kentucky Derby last weekend, failed a post-race drug test following the Derby. Hall of Fame trainer Bob Baffert has been suspended by Churchill Downs indefinitely. Baffert has denied any wrongdoing. No word yet on if Medina Spirit can race in the upcoming Preakness. You can watch that Saturday right here on NBC. Unbelievable. That's going to do it for this edition of Indians Tonight. Don't forget, Tribe off tomorrow. They'll play Tuesday against the Cubs. This has been a David Kinder production. Frank Masick, our director. Have a great week. Stay safe out there.